I have not said this in a while, but, ignore that. Ignore the hair. Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Carrot, and I have a pimple here. And welcome to Into the Abyss episode, oh my god, I don't even know, 39, 40? It's one of those two. Today we are talking about the assassination of one of the greatest presidents in American history, James Garfield.
Soon, another doctor, Dr. D.W. Bliss, one of the most renowned physicians in Washington, arrived and began to probe the wound, first with a metal implement, then with his finger.
Now, in school you're probably not taught about James Garfield because he didn't do much, because he was shot 90 days into his presidency.
First to his alma mater, Williams College, then to the New Jersey shore. As the president passed through the lobby of the Baltimore and Potomac rail station,
he knew what it was like living a tough life and wanted to change America so no one had to go through that.
Guiteau stepped from the shadows and shot him twice in the back. The first bullet grazed the president's arm, but the second passed through his vertebrae and knocked him to the ground.
Everyone knows JFK and Lincoln got assassinated. Everyone knows Lincoln, that's the first they learned. Lincoln got shot, and then JFK, and then maybe McKinley, but Garfield is usually the last. James A. Garfield was boarding a train, and there was a gunman, and he shot him in the arm and the back. They were able to get the arm bullet out. It didn't go in, it skimmed his arm, but the back, it was in his back.
On the morning of July 2nd, 1881, Garfield, like many others, was preparing to escape the oppressive summers of Washington, D.C. by heading north.
And back then, scientists and doctors didn't even believe germs were a thing. They didn't know germs were a thing. So they stuck their fingers, stuck their tweezers up his back and started searching for the bullet in the wound.
Of course, Guiteau was repeatedly rejected by the administration, and finally, he decided to kill the president.
So, he had an infected hole in his back, and he could not eat. He had to be fed, he had to chew it, swallow it, and he lost a ton of weight.
In Washington, writing as usual. When he set out to kill President Garfield, he had with him a gun.
Now, the dude who invented the telephone was called over. He also invented a metal detector, and they thought they were found the bullet, but they didn't. They found a spring under the bed that they thought was a bullet. Spring beds were not common back then.
On July 2nd, 1881, that terribly hot day, Guiteau holed himself up in his room.
So after that, multiple surgeries where multiple springs were, and not multiple bullets, he died. So that was the assassination of James A. Garfield. He could have been a monumental hero in American history, like JFK, Lincoln, FDR, one of those. He could be up there. Later.